only, and this is not, to be anything but entertainment. Uh, anyways, I came across the story. Gosh, I forget who I saw initially on, but I saw actual Whistling Diesel himself on his own channel explain how he was arrested in the state of Tennessee for tax evasion. Because if you aren't aware of his channel, he honestly, I don't even know that much about his channel, but he blew up a Ferrari, and this Ferrari he did not pay sales tax on in Tennessee because he had registered it in Montana. And as he said in his video, 85% of luxury car owners are business owners in Montana. So I want to make it clear right from the start, I don't consider what he did fraud, and I'm not meaning to call it fraud when I put in my title reality TV show fraud. We'll get to that point at the end. It just was like I was just thinking about all this stuff. In his video, he was like arrested and he has his own crew filming it. You know, they have their own body cam too. Really good guy. He's legit, he's a good young man. He said he makes monthly payments to the IRS, so he was completely taken aback when the cops show up on his property, just telling him tax evasion, tax evasion. And but it's from the state. It's not federal. It's not an IRS charge. And he's like, they won't tell him any details. And apparently they didn't for days. It's just so crazy what happens to people. Thankfully, he was only in the jail cell for like 2 hours. He got arrested, got bailed out quickly, but to still have to go through all of this, it is obvious, and this is what he says, and I agree, in my opinion, they're trying to make an example out of him because he is a YouTuber. They knew this would spread like wildfire. They want other people to know, hey, we've got our eyes on you if you try to like play the game. Like this is our country is set up for business owners. There are all sorts of loopholes if you know how to play the game. I don't think it's fair. And the state of Tennessee apparently has laws that are like no matter what, you can't like I don't know if it says use those loopholes, but basically there's a law that's like you must pay taxes on things you use here in this state. And I thought it was kind of great. Whistling Diesel said he's in the process of buying property in Montana right now. And he's like, Montana's a great place to settle down. Anybody, um, interested. So good for him. I would feel like leaving the state that came at me with no warning. They could have, wrote him a letter. He's like, there was a $30,000 tax bill, and they're probably spending more on this investigation on the, six police cars, all the different officers that went out to arrest him that day. Then if they would have just sent him a letter like, hey, you owe this $30,000, and he's the kind of person he probably would have, I don't know exactly what his next steps would have done. Maybe he would have contacted an attorney and seen like what he could do to negotiate, but he definitely would have wanted to negotiate or something before they went and arrested him. And they knew that. They just do this to make an example out of him. And once again, 85% of luxury car owners have a business in Montana because they are aware of these loopholes. And that's the nature of the game, Like I said, our country's set up for business owners. There's always loopholes for don't ever get a whole house water filtration system. First of all, there's no such thing as a whole house water filtration system, but don't ever let anybody talk you into anything that could put a lien on your home. Don't think just because they didn't tell you they could put a lien on your home, they can't put a lien on your home. That's a whole other conversation. But God bless his heart. He has a Russian girlfriend, and he's like, this is worrying me. I'm not going to be able to start my family as easily or as soon as possible because he's, trying to, good for him. I'm glad he has an Eastern European woman in his life. That made me happy. Like, you know, shout out Fendi if you're in here. Oh, hey, Dorothy, how are you? Yeah, Fendi, you are in here. So that's the story with that. And I think he'll be fine. He clearly has a good head on his shoulders. I'm sure he already has like a lawyer on speed dial. And he said this is a good thing it happened to him. He's glad it happened to him because he's not going to just like stand back and take it like some people would. He's right. And that's what the kind of attitude we all need to get for the sake of our grandchildren and our great grandchildren, if anything, not for our own sake, and, buying land in Montana. So, I wanted to say all that, and then to say, I like to watch reality like, recaps. I don't like to watch the actual reality shows, but I like to watch people talk about them. It's just my way of, like, listening to something that's not serious that I can just kinda, like, veg out to, but I couldn't stand watching the actual reality shows, especially the way they repeat things so much, that drives me nuts. I'm, like, so used to, like, YouTube content now. But oh my gosh, what is the show? See, I don't even know the name of the show. It's this man named Derek. Garrick. I'm sorry, Garrick, Derek with the G. And he's like married and this wealthy man. And it's like different couples on the show trying to practice polygamy. You guys probably, somebody knows what I'm talking about. And they'll just straight up talk about on that, they'll straight up talk about committing like some kind of fraud on that show. They're like, oh, well, he wants to get another wife, but like we need to make sure that his Brazilian wife is here for 2 years to ensure her citizenship. So he can't divorce her for 2 years before he goes and marries another woman. Like, is this not fraudulent? Is that not like what you're gonna do it? Don't talk about it on national TV. This happens all the time, like 90 Day Fiance type situations where it's like the way that they're talking is like, but we can put that on a show because it's smut that, encourages people not to be as mindful as they could be. All these shows about relationships, let's be real, they're like the most dramatic. Anyways, definitely not aspirational, but I just thought that was really interesting that a YouTuber that blows up cars, which I'm not a huge fan of that. I'm like such an environmentalist. I don't think anybody should be doing it, but he seemed like such a good guy. I couldn't help but like him. And when I heard him say that thing about like wanting to start a family, like it made me feel so much for him. And it's not right that he got, they did that on purpose. They went to his home and made him feel that way on his own property on purpose. They know what they're doing, and, I know, the law enforcement officers are just doing their job, so I don't mean that directly, like, towards the cops, but, it's like it's just a shame. Tennessee, there's just a big lawsuit because of state policemen having to fill these quotas, and they came out, and I'm sure they were in trouble with their job, these 2 cops, but, like, after they got in trouble for other things, they were like, "You know what? The quotas they're pushing on us for DUIs is pretty fucked up. We're, like, messing up people's lives, like, insisting on pulling over X amount of DUI arrests every week." Okay, guys. No, I'm not divorcing. I used to want to move to Montana, but I realized everywhere is the same in America, and I realized I just want out of here. No, Fendi, I don't blame you. I would move to somewhere like Montana if I had like a big disposable income. I just have like so much family and my roots are here. Like I don't really see myself leaving unless my husband is from the Pacific Northwest, and, if we had tons of money, we might go somewhere out there, but it's like I kind of agree with you, Fendi. It's a lot of the same bullshit everywhere. Oh, I do ignore the haters. I mean, actually, I acknowledge them and I love them just as much because they're who helps grow my channel. They just can't help themselves. When I get a bunch of trolls in the chat saying the same thing, it's like you're all spending time apart from my lives going and deciding what you're going to say about me, and then you come in here and troll me with it. You really make me feel like I made it. Like you do everything for my self-esteem. um Chris, if you're saying that because my teeth aren't perfectly white, yes, it's every single live stuff about my teeth. That's why I'm never gonna I can't whiten them because I had veneers that fell off. Anyways, it was fake veneers. I'll make a video on that one day because I swear that happened to me long before, and it was a legit dentist. It wasn't one of these veneer techs. There's people calling themselves veneer techs that literally have no education, know anything with teeth. It's so scary, guys. And people will go sit down in a chair and do whatever they can to get these bright white chiclet looking highlighter teeth because there's so many people just like ragging on people. See, people in Kentucky don't do that. So many people here are like missing a lot of their teeth. And I'm not making fun. It's just the way it is. Like we don't make fun of each other and our teeth. And I know there's a bunch of other people out there that are like scared to smile and like, that's so sad to me because of people who are so hyper focused on aesthetics, like, we're all gonna die one day. My favorite epitaph, is like, "I was once like you are, and you will once be like me." It's like, um, whoever says shit about my teeth, I'm like, chances are one day if you have perfect teeth, which you probably don't, one day they're not gonna be so perfect, you know? We all age. Yanni, we do have GUNs inside, but see, not too far back there, it's a valley. There's like farmland all around me, no resident bears. However, that doesn't mean there couldn't be a bear passing through. So we had one neighbor tell us they saw a bear pass through. I don't know when that was, but there's cows across the street. You get to watch our neighbors' cows grow up. It's the sweetest thing. Like, I had a Jersey cow and a Longhorn cow had a baby, and then like watching them grow up. Oh, see, I can still have people wanna date me even with my yellow teeth. Delmar said your teeth are fine. I have dentures and hate them. I'm so sorry, Delmar. I'm missing 2 molars, so I really empathize with that because just missing 2 big teeth makes chewing things a lot harder sometimes. Thanks, Pyramid. I love the woods, actually. I've always felt extreme I don't maybe I'm a little naive, I'm a little dumb. Our last property, the 23 acres, there probably was resident bears there. I'd go walking around all the time with just like a knife. I need to get more confident. No, I'm very confident with the firearms. Never mind. And yeah, I'm so confident. I know how to use all of them well and quickly. Just so all you know. Hi, Mike. How are you? Guys who hate on her are insecure incels who can't get laid. Phase, yeah, see, we have black bears here, which are like the most docile. But thanks, Phase. I do agree with that. It's 58 degrees here. It's not that cold. Look, this is one of my son's hand-me-down sweatshirts. I bought this for him a few years ago. It's funny. But anyways, we bought this in a small town downtown shop. Bears really are more scared of you than you are of them most of the time. However, this time of year is when you should or hold on. Is it before they hibernate and when they wake up, they, like, eat more? You know, so, like, both those time like, right now before they hibernate, they might be, like, eating things they usually don't eat, but, like, especially when they wake up in, like, April, that's when you need to be, most scared of black bears. See where my husband grew up, talk about, like, wild animals, you guys could probably guess. Have you seen the movie Pyewacket? It makes the woods terrifying. Is that, like, a horror movie, Aaron and Time? I don't think so. I have 3 sons, and my 8 and 16-year-old sons live with us, and then my 18-year-old son does not. If I were actually in front of you, I would be so nervous about your beauty that I wouldn't be able to say anything. Monsters of Thank you, that's sweet. Yeah, I just wanna be an example for all women, especially that are like, aging isn't easy in our culture. It is once you get past a lot of the bullshit, but, like, I really would feel like I was, like, wasting my life if I didn't put myself out there more, and it's sad to me so many people that's what the trolls want. They're like lobsters in a bucket, they're trying to tear you down because 'cause they're jealous that you can put yourself out there and they can't, and, yeah, I really do I saw this lady had one of my videos and, like, her live, it was cool. This channel, the smaller channel, had me on her, and that's when I really felt like I made it, and she was being really sweet. She wasn't making fun of my looks. I know women do that to each other, but hi, TWC, how are you doing? I consider myself a good cook, Mike. Yes. I like to bake. Well, I guess I like to cook just as much. I got a little rusty because I worked in a factory for 18 months, but I'm back at it now. It's a summoning movie, and something follows her in the woods to her home. Oh, yeah. See, I used to be really into like horror films and stuff. I totally understand why people get scared, but like I said, like, it's really not that much woods past what you can see, you know? You probably can't tell, like, I can tell from here it dips down back there, and, honestly, I've never, like, walked to the valley because it's like, it's not our land, but, yes, I really, really like having, Bangla, you look a little bit old. One of my favorite troll comments ever was somebody said, "You look young and old at the same time." Like, well, I'm 38. Isn't that what a 38-year-old should look like? Young and old at the same time? Like, I don't take any of that as an insult. We took our family Christmas pictures yesterday, and I was so happy because my 8-year-old is on the autism spectrum, and I don't think we've ever had a successful photo shoot with him, so every autism parent knows what that feels like. Just like, everybody's like, look at the camera. He's like, He does have good eye contact. He's never had poor eye contact, this kid. And he does like to look at cameras. It's like, I hate to say it, I think he's got a touch of the ODD. If you don't know what that is, oppositional defiant disorder. When we went to Dinosaur World, he refused to look at the dinosaur statues. Who does? Like, I love him so much. The stuff I have to deal with. You guys, if you really knew, you would probably consider me to be a saint. There, I said it. And I met Mr. Carey's family yesterday. I met all his kids. It was so nice and lovely. And I feel like I can't say as much as I want to about it because of the one guy that like goes after us as much as possible. But just know if you can't help them out, just supporting me and my channel, like, is helping them, okay? Let's just say it like that. I don't wanna, like, say it any say like, that's it, and, I'm tired of feeling like I can't say what I want to on my own damn channel, like, they are a family in need, I've been to their home, we all go through rough patches, and, like, it's just one thing after another, you know what, and then it's piling up, and then it's, like, car repairs on top of this and that, and it's like, if we could help them, oh my gosh, if I could take off on YouTube, I would seriously love that's it wouldn't be that much to help a family like that. Get a single wide trailer. You know, even if you had to put it on a permanent foundation, it's like the the rent prices. Oh my gosh, it's just like a year's worth of rent. That's not really including the land, but still, what, like 2 years worth of rent, 3 years worth of rent to have land you own that you're building equity. And if, once again, like trailer homes can become dilapidated quicker because they're cheaper construction. Actually, like the older ones, I would love to have like a decently made, well taken care of older, like from the 90s mobile home because they made things a little bit better back then. But anyways, if you take care of it, it's got a good roof. It's it's a freaking home. And I think I made a really good point. I just want to say it again. People are okay with Kias. Why is it like it's not shameful to buy a Kia? And it shouldn't be. They're cheaper cars. Sometimes people need to buy a cheaper car. Why is it so shameful to live in a trailer home? Like, what's the difference? Hey, Mr. Carey. Hey. Um, chat wedding stream in 2 years. I don't know what you mean by that, Googler. I have a husband of 15 years. But you are a fairy. Oh, that is so sweet. You guys are so sweet. And I'm not just saying this, I swear my teeth do look like yellower sometimes, like, right out here, I was like, in my bathroom, they don't look like that. And then I'm like, I really don't care. And it's good because it's an exercise in um, my thick skin because one day, mark my words, if somebody like Andrew Wilson can make it on Piers Morgan, I'm gonna be on Piers Morgan or some shit like that. And when I am on some platform like that, they're gonna have lighting that they'll know what to do with my teeth. Dorothy, I played in the woods as a child, caught crayfish in the creeks. Oh, Dorothy, I love that. We have a lot of crayfish where I grew up in Indiana. And then, like the same places that had a lot of them, when I got older and I took my boys there, there weren't any anymore. That always made me sad because of Kia boys. Is that what that trend was called where they were breaking into Kias and what was it, Hyundais? I mean, I made it know. I love Hondas. I have a Honda. I love Hondas so much. I think they're like the ultimate vehicle. But I totally understand somebody getting a cheaper car, you know? I do think you're better off getting a Honda or a Toyota in the long run. I've had my car for 120,000 miles. Seriously made like $600 worth of repairs on her outside of the normal brakes, oil changes, one tune-up, spark plug change, whatever they do during a tune-up. Um, and I am not divorced. I don't know. Is this the new troll today asking if I'm divorced? But no, I am not. Me and my husband have been through some rough patches and I've not been quiet about that. But right now we're doing good. That's good, right? What about Volvos? I've heard that they're kind of expensive to fix. They're good cars, but like I would worry more about a country mechanic working on my Volvo. That no offense against mechanics, but you know what I mean? I've just heard that those um same thing with Volkswagens. And I'm not so sure. I know Volkswagens have made some disappointing decisions, like making certain parts plastic that should never be plastic, like I have literally built Kia and Honda parts, like the same part, for Kia and then for Honda, like you do get what you pay for. But once again, I would never make fun of somebody for having a Kia. You know what I mean? You just hope next time they buy a Honda. I have a Honda HR-V. Is it HR-V? Is that oh, okay, a newer model suburban vehicle costing way less than CR-V. I was gonna say, did you mean to say a CR-V? Because I'm not familiar with the new ones. Only 27,000. That's nice, Dorothy. And my car, when we got her, I put some money down, but she is like worth more than when we bought her, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like because the market was different then, it's like she's worth more now than does that make any sense? You know what I mean? I feel like I'm not explaining it well. I want to be on my deck. I can see a national park we planted years ago. Oh, that's cool, Walter. It would be nice to live near a park because then you know that there's not going to be, hopefully, knock on wood, with this government, they could be doing construction. I'm knocking on wood, my chicken coop. Who the F is standing behind you? Nice. Nice try. Hello, what's going on? I just got here. So I did a little recap. There's this YouTuber that got arrested for tax evasion in the state. He lives Tennessee for not paying taxes, sales tax on a Ferrari. His channel is called Whistling Diesel, and he like blows up vehicles, or at least part of his channel. And they gave him no warning, no fair warning, nothing. They just show up to his door saying like this is for tax evasion, no details. And he's like, "What? I pay taxes every month. Like, what are you talking about?" They wouldn't give him any details for like 4 or 5 days, and it was a state level charge, him and his LLC. I think that's the one thing I didn't say that I wrote in my notes. Like 2 charges for him and then his LLC. Like they're coming at him at all angles, trying to make an example out of him because he is a YouTuber. And he's like, they chose the wrong YouTuber. This guy is great because talk about healthy masculinity. He's like a good example of it, like firm but gentle, like, he knows what's up. He was, completely calm during the arrest, shows his own footage of it because, he's a YouTuber. He had like a crew sitting there and they decided to film it. And anyways, basically there's a law in Tennessee that's like if you use something here, you can't evade the taxes of it, like no matter what, because they know that there's these loopholes. Like he said in his video, 85% of luxury car owners own a business in Montana. And this is a way to not have to pay ridiculous taxes, and I don't blame anybody for, taking I don't even wanna say taking advantage, I don't look at it like that. Why can everybody and their brother that's, like, in the elite class literally get away with murder, in my opinion, and do whatever the freak they want? But, like, then they make an example, of course, out of somebody I'm assuming he came from, like, middle class or lower middle class or something, you know what I mean? I'm just assuming he didn't, like, come from money himself, and, yeah, so they're trying to make an example out of him, and my point in this video was number 1, that's bullshit, and I'm very happy for him. He's gonna take his Russian bride and go off to Montana. Good for him, he's buying land in Montana. That's probably what I would do if I had all his money too. Isn't it the least populated state? Either Montana or North Dakota. I wouldn't mind retiring in the least populated state. Anyways, so my whole point was on a lot of the reality shows showcasing like the smut they're trying to like push on all of us and like, polyamory, polygamy. I'm sorry, I don't believe in that at all, especially when children are involved. I think it's extremely unhealthy. And I'm talking about like modern day relationships. We're not like in tribes anymore. You know what I mean? And even back then, like anyways, they'll just straight up talk about, like, committing fraud on these shows, but none of them ever get in trouble, you know? I just think that that's bullshit. They're like, "Oh, well, Garrick married this one chick that can't speak English yet, has a baby, still can't speak one lick of English." Like, I just don't get that. And then, and I have trouble learning to speak Spanish, but I wouldn't move to a Spanish-speaking country and marry a man that only spoke Spanish either. And then, like, his wife, his ex-wife is like, "Well, he wants another wife, so whenever he's married to her for 2 years, he can divorce her and then marry somebody else, but for her citizenship to, like, be assured, she needs to stay married to him for 2 years." And it's like, why can those people talk about straight up committing fraud? Um they say the Volkswagen TDI diesels are good and heard some got 40 to 50 mile per gallon out of it. No, I didn't know that, Fendi. That's good. Somebody I know has a new Volkswagen that they love, but I'm just such a Honda fan. She is married. She can't get married again. That would be bigamy if I spelled it right. Oh my gosh. Those are not carbon reinforced fibers, same used in aircrafts. Oh, Mr. Nova, are you talking about plastic? Okay, well that does make sense. I just heard certain people complaining about like some pan melting and how, like, Volkswagen knew that shit was gonna melt, you know? But I'm not saying you're wrong. Oh, yeah, the car prices do go up, especially pre-owned, especially if you have a nice Honda. I mean, you know what I mean? You just can't go wrong, and like I said, I mean, $600 worth of repairs and 120,000 miles. Now I feel like I need to knock on wood again because I'm probably jinxing myself. It does have some issues with the radio, the heated seats don't work in the driver's seat, which sucks, and I'll never get fixed, but I really can't complain. I had sinus surgeries, and most people's faces aren't perfectly symmetrical light blue, and if they were, they actually look a little freaky, but yes, my eyes did used to be more symmetrical, and I talk about my wonky eye all the time. I point out all my flaws before all the trolls do. See, okay, this is what I love so much about my husband. Um, Nobody's perfect, and all you people that, like, opine over wanting somebody because life is hard and it's gonna be easier with a good partner, um, you're never gonna have one as long as you spend your time and energy making fun of other people's looks YouTube because you're basically jealous, and I'm not saying that I'm so great, I'm saying you're jealous of the fact that, like, I can have a YouTube Live with 42 people in it, something I'm very proud of, and, my husband would never. My husband would never, he has never, and he would never. He's 40 years old. 20 years ago, at 20 years old, he would never. Now, at 40 years old, never ever. 20 years from now, 60 years old, I know he's still never ever. He wouldn't, he won't. And that's what a real man does. If you don't like what you see, that's fine. I'm not here to be like people's fodder. But I also, I just think it's funny if you stay in my chat long enough, like you'll see why those people do say things like that. And people like Ron have absolutely no life and help get stuff moving for my channel the more they comment. So that's why we have a rule not to like block people unless they're like extreme. Uh, Hello, I have FND, which caused my right eyelid to close, so I know how it is. I'm sorry, damage. Yeah, I forget what it's called. It's like I know the term for it when your eyelid is like, like mine. I forget, it starts with an S, I think. But I'm assuming it's because of sinus surgeries I've had and a lot of other dental work. How about a Mexican taco and a Volkswagen? Oh my gosh, I figured out how to do vertical and send a link to join the panel last time. My Isaiah helped me and I got you two more subs. Oh, thank you, Mr. Carey. That's so nice. My wife's uncle and her dad subscribed to you yesterday. Oh, that's so nice. Hello, I have to find which caused my well, so it's still closed or did it is it coming home? My mom taught me that if people don't like the way I look, they don't have to look at me. That's helped a lot. Oh, I wish people would stop looking at me. I mean, I'm on YouTube. I don't mean it like when I'm on YouTube. I want views, but I feel like a lot of people look at me because of like my light skin and my dark hair, and I'm like a playing card, and like the contrast catches the eye. I'm not like a beauty queen, but yeah, I'm used to people staring at me everywhere I go. What can I say? I'm like, it gets to the point where it's like, yeah, maybe I'll try going live on YouTube, and I might actually get monetized and like you know it is a benefit. Dealing with the trolls is fine. And I hope that some of you guys, most of you guys have a really good day. And thank you again, Carrie. Thank you for all your help. And a YouTuber said something, oh, it's been closed for 3 whole years. I'm so sorry, damage. That must be tough. Hi, Acid Burn. How are you? Are you feeling any better today? I hope you're feeling better. Acid Burn was sick with the vid, everybody, for a long time. Oh, Mr. Carey, I enjoy getting to know you and your family and being friends, and I think we all found each other for a reason, you know what I mean? One day we're gonna laugh at all this. But I hope you guys are interested in the topics I bring up. I know I'm kind of all over the place, but I just thought this was so interesting, and we should all be aware. I mean, they tax us for things like 2, 3 times more, like I know, like, that's one I would love to live in a community where, like, there was more bartering, where we could just, like, take our dollars out of the system every way possible, between growing your own food, there's so many people out in the countryside. They're like, seriously, Mr. Carey, do you agree? Like, every few miles, there's, like, a car mechanic. Maybe not every few miles. There's a lot more businesses out in the middle of nowhere than you would think, as when people live in these small communities rurally, they, and I'm not saying those car mechanics trade their services. I bet they do sometimes, but like the AC repairman that came out here, they're like located in this little country town, and um, yeah, it's the only alternative I feel like at this point is to try to live like that. Good morning from New Zealand. It's 8:25 a.m. on Tuesday there. That's so cool. It's 2:24 on Monday afternoon here. That's so neat. You're in Hazard County, damage? Is that what you're saying? That is so cool. How many subscribers do you need before you get monetized? Mr. Sense, I am monetized. Thank you. I would love to have you if you want to stay, but I'm monetized. You need 1,000. So I wasn't expecting it this year, and I got monetized in July. You also need like, what is it, Mr. Carey, 4,000 watch hours? And a lot of my content's so long, like, I never had a problem with the watch hours, but, going live is a great way to build up your channel if you can. Oh my gosh, somebody from Manhattan, Miss Santana? J Miss Santana. That's so cool. I've been to New York City once, and once was enough for me. I don't know, if I had tons of money to spend, I might wanna spend, a week around Christmas time. I'm, like, a sucker for Christmas, and I wanna take you guys to some small towns, like, downtown, all these little towns have I'm sure most downtowns do, but I feel like they're extra cute. They go all out a little bit extra here in Kentucky with the holiday lights on the lampposts and the window decorations, and just like, they'll put, flowers on every single gravestone as, like, this, like, memorial thing. They don't do that in Indiana. You don't drive by grave cemeteries and see flowers on literally every single gravestone. Anyways, I know we talk a lot of shit about Indiana. I'm sorry. It's just like and it's not good because it's like because everybody there would always talk shit about Kentuckians, and then that's I'm doing the same thing. I didn't do much with my channel for a while. I started it in 2011. Wow. Yeah, family and more head damage. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Mr. Carey, your videos are shorter. See, me talking for like 3 hours at a time. No, Jay, and most of Kentucky, no. I mean, Louisville, Lexington, Bowling Green, the 3 biggest cities are like any other city, right? The cost of living is more. Everything is cheaper here in South Central Kentucky. I got an oil change. What was it, like $48? Um, full service oil change, that's when they like check your tires and everything. Everything's cheaper. The doctor's clinics, if you don't have insurance, and it is because there's a lot of people that, are destitute, and that is unfortunate. There's not a lot of opportunity, but if you have an at-home job, especially, it might be a really good option if you want to buy. You can still get a house. Like people don't believe me when I make comments sometimes. I'm like, gosh, for that amount of money, you could get like a nice house on like 20 some acres. What people pay in like, oh, Rahi Sharma, thank you. The gray kitten lay on my chest, keeping me from modding. Oh, that's cool. Mr. Carey, let him stay. No, I'm guessing your county across the river in Cincy. I'm farther south than that damage. Are you talking about your family? I am gonna go ahead and let you guys go. Oh my gosh, Jack Plains spotting. Kentucky has tons of lakes. A lot of them are man-made, but we have like second to Alaska, the most navigable waterways of any state. So there's a lot of fun parks surrounding the lakes, like Lake Cumberland. We're not too far from there, a little bit of a drive, and that's a really nice spot. I'm just like trying to give away where I live at this point. But anyways, I've got to go take care of both of my sons. It's that time of day where the other one's gonna, like, come home from school in a while. Yeah, if you can get good land, of course, you need to be wary of, like, sight unseen. You should not buy land here. You will think it's, like, not as sloped. Like, pictures can really deceive you, and I think a lot of people have probably been duped, unfortunately, and that is unfortunate. Because when we were looking for land, we own 23 acres. We sold it. We ran out of money developing it, and then we bought an acre we live in a double white on now, and, when we were buying that acreage, all gung ho to go off grid, which we did for 11 and a half months, um, there's just so many properties that were like, "Man, I came here because the pictures excited me, but this is completely unusable. This is completely, like, rocky terrain. You can't garden in it. You couldn't do anything. I'm surprised you probably couldn't get a septic in here," and, like so, yeah, and then I remember one spot, the guy was like, "Yeah, a couple from California bought that lot over there, and they obviously didn't come here and look at it first." Anyways, call David on phone with your card now at Starbucks next to our house. This is funny. That's a funny troll. I don't know why that's so funny to me, but I need to block you because you're kinda being spammy about it. Um, do I know Nam? Are you asking me, Mr. Carey? I don't think so. Are you asking me that question? But yes, we have tons of water here, not just navigable waterways and big lakes. I've heard some crazy statistic about Lake Cumberland. I need to look up like the coastline of Lake Cumberland is like equivalent to like Lake Superior or something. I know that sounds crazy, but like it's this crazy lake that's like, got all these like finger looking things to it. It's not like what people really think about when they think about a lake. Tons of creeks, like, just so many picturesque farms with like rolling hills and creeks with like the limestone rock beds. Plenty of bugs. Always have a soil test done regardless of what your purpose for the land is. The way you'll always know the potential of the land. Crossroad, that is such great advice. I need to remember that because I want to remember that. No, that really is really good advice. And even if you plan on staying off grid and not ever getting a septic, then you might want to be able to tell who you sell it to one day, hey, this was suitable, or at least you still have to have a new one done. But anyways, a perk test is what they call 'em. So I do it every time. I know. Thank you, Cindy. That's so nice. I don't do much with it, but I appreciate it. Every time I come on here, I'm like, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I tell myself I'm never gonna do that again because I know that's annoying. I'm sorry. Are you still sick, Acid Burn? I didn't see if you replied. Keith said, as we travel in our peace and comfort, just automatically and naturally adapting, improvising, and overcoming to naturally avoid harmful intentions more with every healing breath. Well, Acid Burn, I'm really sorry. I really wish I could help somehow. Really, really sucks. I'm kind of concerned about you. I hope, do you have a pulse oximeter, the thing they put on your fingertips to take your oxygen levels? I pulled a ton of quartz out of Lake Cumberland when they lowered it years back. Oh, damage, that's so cool. Keith said, hi, Mr. Carey, we meet again. Keith, I met Mr. Carey yesterday, Keith. I met Mr. Carey and his wife and his three kids, Keith. It was cool. Um, I'm just bad at reading every single comment, but I will look at your comments right now, Ing. You said, "Hey from Texas. Hey, land isn't so expensive in Texas either, depending on where." I'm new, so I guess you're not reading my comments. I try to read all the nice comments, but you know how it goes sometimes it's tougher. But, yeah, it's nice to have you, and when we looked for land, I remember, there's quite a bit, Tennessee, Texas, North and South Carolina, somewhat in Georgia, that we're like the what we got selling our first house, we could have gone and gotten some land, but like I said, we wanted to stay near family as much as we could. John, how are you doing? Love from the Netherlands, Amsterdam. Oh, you're so lucky to live in a place like that. Seems like a dream to me. Even though I like to be out in the countryside, I just love old. I have a grandpa who's from Switzerland, and when I see videos of Switzerland, I'm like, gosh, why did you ever leave? But I mean, I get it. He lived all over the world. Acid burn, as you enjoy reading these words, realize how your body just automatically and naturally remembers its optimal states more with every healing breath. Yes, acid burn. I'm gonna go. It turned into pneumonia. So are you getting health care? Like you say that, did a doctor diagnose you? No, Cindy, I don't. I have sons and a husband, but my husband works in transportation. But no, I don't typically live alone. Um, I have two giant breed dogs too. I didn't I had them out here and I put them up because it was just like, sometimes I like to be I know that sounds mean. They spend hours a day usually outside, and, like, sometimes I wanna be outside without having to, like my girl dog, like, just waltzed across the street and was, like, in way into our neighbor's yard. I was floored, and, like, I really didn't think she would do that. I thought she knew better than that. But, she's only 2 years old. She's still, like, got a little bit of a puppy in you. There's a man behind me. Switzerland is beautiful, like Denmark. Yes, John. No, I don't have OF, and I never would. I think, that's one of the worst things a woman can do, not because I'm shaming women, because it's just so dangerous and unsustainable, you get nothing from it. But, it might get some money, most women don't, but it makes me sad that so many do. No, Oleg Sevtov. Okay. I love you guys. I hope you have a great night. I have a members only last night. I'm gonna try to be on there closer to 8, but definitely by 9. And I hope to see you guys there. As many of you that can make it as possible. I've said this before, if you're a member and there's like a special time that you can make a live, like I'm not guaranteeing I will go, but like let me know. Gotta go, Lydia. Monday's changing bedding day. Have a nice day. Love you. Oh, love you too, Dorothy. Have fun changing your beds. TWC, you can join, or sometimes you get gifted a membership, but it would be nice. I don't know what device you're on and how you could join. I think it's like $2 a month. Love you guys.